Oh, is this thing on? I'm not used to doing YouTube. This is like a whole new world here.
Heck yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Distilling the West. We are, I was going to say live, but I guess we're live, but you're probably not watching this live. This is so weird doing video. I'm sorry, guys. So, yeah, we're here talking about the Distillarium. We're doing a tasting talk for the Riveter. This is a 5-year-old straight rye. I'm excited to try it. Normally, I sip on these glasses before we actually do the tasting talk, but I haven't done that yet. Have you?
Yes, I have, especially with this one. Shocking.
Sorry, shock and awe.
Well, and I was just reflecting, Dave, we're riffing on rye today.
We are.
And is this like the dude's version of pumpkin spice? Like all of a sudden fall has hit and we get a little spice in our life with the rye. I was just thinking, we got a few ryes, lined up here. Maybe not in summer, but...
Yeah, that is true. For our listeners and watchers, we usually record these tasting talks a couple at a time. And I think today we have 4 ryes we're sipping through. So, yeah, we'll try not to make any bad jokes to show off that rye sense of humor. Sorry. And my wife actually said that one yesterday. I liked that. I had to steal it. Thank you, Crystal.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in the Distillarium, we did a cool interview with Ken. They're based out of Yakima, Washington, and these ones are kind of the proof down versions. We did the cast strengths in the interview, and this is kind of their new series with their new labeling, and it's very approachable. Just the proof down version. They kept the 5-year age statement on there. So a good little bit of age on it. And I think it has a nice, robust complexity to it at that 5 years throughout all the cask strength. And, we went back and did the triticale and the bourbon. So here we are on the rye.
Yeah, and this is 95.5, so 95% rye, 5% was it's malted barley, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this tastes a little proof down.
Yeah, so kind of that German rye style.
What are you getting on the nose there?
Let's see. I'm getting kind of a toned. Let's see here. I think maybe the barley's coming through a little bit. The complexity of the rye grain is there. And it does both the spicy and the sweet thing for me. So I'm always appreciative of that on the ryes.
Yeah, and I think the malted barley comes through a little bit. You get a little extra. I get stuck on like cocoa almost with the malted, but it's not quite that.
I know what you mean. Kind of that like breadiness thing going on. Yeah, for sure.
And I like how I mentioned taking a nose of it, and I immediately took a sip. So I'm already ahead of the game.
It's hard not to do.
It is. And this is really good stuff. And barrel strength, cask strength is good. I like it for the value. You can proof it down yourself, but this is more like the proof I normally drink at.
Okay.
So this is a little easier for me.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one that you're probably going to go and reach for more on the regular, and also would be a great one if you're trying to, introduce a bourbon guy or someone who just doesn't drink whiskey at all to a rye. This is kind of a nice, approachable one. It is kind of in that same style that is, MGP made famous, that 95.5 split. And on this one, when I go for the taste, that higher rye, that 95%, it is, I guess the rye stands out to me, and it's way more present on my mid palate in my tongue. I'm not calling it a spice, but it does that dancing on my tongue, kind of that maybe white pepperiness going on.
Yeah, definitely way more pepper than burn on this one. You can tell it's a rye because it has that spice, but I don't want to say I get zero burn, but it's pretty darn close. It is not the ryest rye in the world. With it being proof down, I would say anyone can drink it. You still have those rye flavors. You just don't get the burn.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The rye makes itself known. It's not overwhelming to me. And there is a good complexity. And I think I get a little bit of that sweetness, which I wouldn't expect. Like a lot of those MGP 95.5 splits, they kind of aggressively go into that cinnamon red hot candy thing going on, and I'm not getting any of that. I really do like the sweeter component, and I kind of, with the rye, I come back to a dried fig sort of sweetness going on.
Yeah, to me, I would say this is more of a summertime rye to me. As the weather gets colder, as it gets cooler outside, I like that burn. I like that heat a little bit more. You don't get that as much with this. So again, you get that rye flavor without that burn when the weather's a little warmer, which I think we're getting back up to like 90 next week. We're pretty close to it.
Yeah.
This is the one I'll put in my glass.
Yeah, and I think it's really versatile. This stands up to just a neat pour. This would also be great if you want to challenge yourself and not just do a bourbon old fashioned, but if you wanted to, do with the rye in the old fashioned, I think this would go great in there. It would stand up. Yeah, totally. Oh, and last time, or in our last tasting talk, we had the note of like a Grenache white wine, or I think you had a different varietal, but I do kind of get a little bit of that grapiness as well on that sweetness. I was kind of honing in on that, but yeah, I'm really liking this one.
Yeah, I do too. For a rye, super approachable. I know we say that a lot, but it really is. You don't have that real burn that you get on some ryes, so I think this is one that anyone can really enjoy. I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well, and super affordable. All
Yeah.
of the Distillarium stuff. So I would definitely recommend folks go out and check the Distillarium out in all their products. You can get 2 that are, I think it was like $45 a bottle for the cask strength.
Right.
And if you get 2, they waive the shipping. So I don't know if they still have that deal going on, but I know that even without the deal,
it's a good price.
They're still just super duper affordable for a nice age statement and a complex whiskey. You're not getting anything watered down from them. So,
Yeah. And also, I want to check out their tasting room too. That's really cool. So if you haven't checked out their website, highly recommend you do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is another great one, Dave.
Yeah. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.